The training department within Autism Northern Ireland, for years and years and years now, we've had gross experience of working and developing training on autism. And we felt that there was a need for something simple, quick for people to have as a backup. So we had a working party together and we put the content of the app, as you can see in the background here, together. And what we did was took all our knowledge, and the hardest thing of all, believe it or not, was to concise that down into tiny, tiny, tiny details to make it in a format that is for the layperson and user-friendly. It's a mobile response website. In other words, it's a website, but it can be downloaded onto a phone and used as an app. Apps need live locations. For this particular one, we don't need a live location, and therefore we're putting it down as a website. Having said that, you download it onto your phone, and that's it.
I think there's still a lack of awareness, especially in Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is probably well behind the rest of, say, the UK and even America and things like that. But because we brought in, Autism NI lobbied for 10 years for the Autism NI Act, which was basic single disability legislation specifically for autism. Because of that, the awareness has grown, but there's still that general lack of understanding of what is it, what are the different, concerned about it, what is so bad about it. A lot of people would say to me, but what is the problem with autism? Is it a bit like Rain Man? Is it this or is it that? And they don't really understand the general issues concerning it, that it is individualistic and it varies from person to person, and it also varies from severity as well. So yes, we think it has grown, the awareness raising, over the past 10 years, but there's still a long, long way to go. Autism NI is here basically to help do that, and also obviously to provide the services that are so needed, because the increase in diagnosis is, as I said, 67% over the last few years. So more and more services are needed. And at the minute, there is this lack of resources available in Northern Ireland as a whole. This app is designed really for those who are going to come in contact with people with autism in their local community, maybe work, maybe leisure, maybe extended family members. In other words, if parents are having a look at this today, it's the ideal thing to give maybe granny, auntie, cousin who is aware that the child may have autism, but what is autism? So it's for those kind of people. The other thing as well are people maybe if the child goes to a local shop, or if the child goes to in a taxi to school, taxi driver, anyone like that, it's ideal for. Very straightforward and very concise, very simple. Download it onto your phone. We've got instructions as to how to do that. Very, very simple, and it can be put on an iPhone or an Android phone. And from that then, it's just very clear. You don't have to go back to the home. You just go on and click onto the next page. The final page of our app actually leads into Autism Northern Ireland's website, and another website that we have designed for interactive work with young people with autism called We Think Safe. So from the app, you actually can go then into deeper if you want more knowledge. Autism is a complex disability. It's a social and communication disability, and it affects individuals in many different ways. A lot of individuals have high functioning autism, which is known as Asperger's syndrome, and other ones would have low functioning autism, which is classic autism. It is known as a spectrum disability, so it varies from person to person, and therefore everybody needs different types of support and services. It also affects the family in a number of ways. It isolates the individual because of the social and communication skills, but in another way it can also isolate the family too, because because the child is isolated and may not want to socialise with other people. Often families feel that they're unable to socialise too. For example, going to the shopping centre to a normal family would be fine, and it would be something that the kids would quite enjoy picking, their local shopping up. But for a child with autism, the sensory issues such as the lights and the sounds and the crowds may make them have, maybe a meltdown, or they may not want to go there. So it's very isolating, not just for the individual, but the entire family circle. The app is actually, we launched it on the 13th of November, and it's been well accepted.
we find that it's been very useful for, as I said before, the target group. Classroom assistants are using it, playgroup people are using it, and we're finding that it's very, very useful. I've got some brilliant feedback. A college lecturer has given it to all her students, and they said that was wonderful. A childminder gave it to a parent who's a Senko, and she came back and just went, wow, this is what we've needed. So it's gone around the school there. It's popular already out there. You can see the young people and the culture that they're using. The good thing about our app is that with the popular culture, you tend to, even if you go to a coffee shop, you know, the first thing people get out is their phone. And if you're there waiting for someone, or if you're kind of thinking, well, I better look occupied here, it's the ideal tool for just going in and having a quick look about autism. They don't know what you're looking at. They might think you're playing a game or something. But it means that whenever you have the time to look at it, it's there at your fingertips. So you don't have to go away and look for it and things like that. So I think it's the ideal for the modern world. And but that's the resource of today. Who knows what the resource of tomorrow will be?